Hey, BJ Peters here from StampinBJ.com. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator and I love to share stamping ideas with you. Today I want to talk about our alcohol markers called Stampin Blends. I used them on colored cardstock recently and boy oh boy does it help a focal point just stand out. Let's go. So here's a look at that card that I mentioned to you. So this is using that Beautiful Day stamp set, and what I did was I used the Stampin Blends to darken the colored cardstock, in this case the Peekaboo Peach cardstock, which really makes those beautiful day flowers stand out. It is super easy, and let's get started. So here's that Beautiful Day stamp set that I talked about, and it is just really fun. I've had great fun with the techniques from brush out to Stampin Blends to, just coloring in black and white even with this stamp set. So take a look at it from the Occasions catalog. So what I've gone ahead and done is I have a piece of Peekaboo Peach cardstock here that is 2 3/4 by 4 3/4, and I've gone ahead and embossed the Beautiful Day flower on the cardstock. And now we're just going to kind of color in the background, and you're going to be amazed at how easily those flowers just pop up. So I have the Calypso Coral Dark Stampin' Blend marker here, and I'm just going to kind of carefully go around the edges with kind of my brush tip end and just leaving it a little bit flat and turning the cardstock so that it's at a good angle for me to work with. This is going to give me a little bit of a buffer around the embossing, because I don't want to touch the embossing, because the Stampin' Blends will actually color the embossing. It's not like an emboss resist like we have with some of the other mediums and techniques that we've done. And just color this in. So remember, your Stampin' Blends are alcohol markers, and they're going to saturate the paper, and so you won't have the marker lines that you would if you were using our regular Stampin' Right markers. And don't get me wrong, they're great markers, but for this purpose I didn't want the marker lines. So I'm just kind of going back and forth and saturating the paper. I found that the paper stays a little saturated, maybe 5-6 seconds or so, and so then even when I was blending things, it's easy to kind of get those the light and dark colors to blend in. And now I'm going to switch from the brush tip end, the fat line, to the little nib tip or the narrow line, and I'm going to come in and I'm going to color inside the holes in the center of the flower here with that nib tip. Just a little finer, easier to get in there, because I don't want to color the white embossing powder. Got a little bit of a leaf down here. I'm going to come in and I'm going to color that in with the Old Olive Dark marker. There we have it, finished. And don't those flowers just pop right off? I'm going to add a little layer of a basic black, and you can see how I've saturated the paper here to this to help it stand out on my card base. So the black is just 1/8 of an inch larger, so 2 7/8 by 4 7/8. There we go. And then my card base is just Pear Pizzazz, and it's 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5 1/2. Then I've got a little strip of the Calypso Coral cardstock here, and it's a 1/2 inch wide. And I'm just going to stamp the greeting in basic black on that. And I'll cut that off about right there. The other end will make about right there, and then I'm going to do my usual to make that little pennant end, is come up in the middle with my paper snips and then go from the corner to the middle, and then I get a perfect little pennant. We'll pop that up with some dimensionals here, give it a little height and texture. Then I'm going to add that bow. So I've got my solid black baker's twine here. It's going to take about that long, and I'm going to do, I like doing the rabbit ear technique, so just making a couple loops. And I like 2 layers of this because it just helps it stand out just a bit more. And we'll just add that with a glue dot. Love it. There we go. So easy. So don't forget about using your Stampin' Blends on colored cardstock. It works and it looks beautiful. Thanks for stopping by today. Remember, you can purchase these products in my online store at stampinbj.com. And remember to create and feel great.